It's 2:47 in the morning. You're lying in the dark, replaying a conversation from 6 hours ago. You said something awkward. Nobody noticed. But you noticed, and now it's eating you alive. Or maybe it's that unread message sitting on your phone, the one that's probably nothing. But your brain has already written 3 catastrophic endings. If any of that sounds familiar, stay with me. Because today we're going to talk about what's actually happening inside your head.
In psychology,
There's a model called the Big Five. It maps human personality across 5 core dimensions. One of them is neuroticism. And right away, let's be clear about something. Neuroticism is not a diagnosis. It's not a disorder. It's not a character flaw. It's a spectrum, a sensitivity dial. And some of us just have that dial turned up higher than others.
what does that actually mean?
It means your brain reacts more intensely to negative stimuli. Where someone else might feel a ripple, you feel a wave. Where they shrug, you spiral. Think of it like a smoke detector. Most people have one that goes off when there's an actual fire. Yours goes off when someone makes toast. It's not that you're broken. Your system is just more alert. You pick up on threats faster. You register subtle shifts in tone. You notice the micro-expression that flickers across someone's face for half a second. The technical term is negativity bias. Your brain gives more weight to what could go wrong than to what's going right. It's not a choice, it's architecture.
So why does this happen?
Let's go deeper. At the center of your brain sits a small, almond-shaped structure called the amygdala. It's your threat detection system. And in people who score high on neuroticism, the amygdala is more reactive. It fires more easily, more often, and with greater intensity. This isn't weakness, it's actually evolution.
Think about it.
Thousands of years ago, the humans who survived were the ones who assumed the rustling in the bushes was a predator, not the wind. The hypervigilant ones, the ones who worried. Your ancestors didn't relax, that's why you're here. The problem is that the world has changed, but your nervous system hasn't caught up. You're walking around with a threat detection system designed for the park, and you've pointed it at your inbox.
So what does that look like in daily life?
It looks like rumination, the loop that plays a memory over and over, scanning it for evidence that you failed, that you're not enough, that something terrible is coming. It looks like catastrophizing. One missed call becomes a firing. One headache becomes a diagnosis. One awkward pause becomes proof that nobody actually likes you. And it looks like exhaustion, because your brain never turns off. You're running threat assessments 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, on things that will almost certainly never happen.
Imagine being on high alert for your entire life.
Not because you want to be, but because your brain won't let you stop. That's the cost. That's the tax you pay for a nervous system that cares too much.
And here's where it gets heavy.
Because it's not just one worry, it's the cascade. One small thing goes wrong, and suddenly everything is wrong. You send a text, no reply. Okay, maybe they're busy. But then your brain whispers, maybe they're angry. Maybe you said something wrong last week. Maybe they've been pulling away for months and you just didn't see it. Maybe everyone has. Maybe you've been fooling yourself this entire time. Maybe you're fundamentally unlovable. All of that. From one unanswered text.
The spiral is real.
And it's relentless. Every day, you push that boulder up the hill, like Sisyphus. You wake up. You manage the anxiety. You talk yourself down from the ledge. You function. You smile. You get through it. And the next morning, the boulder is back at the bottom.
Nobody sees it.
That's the loneliest part. From the outside, you look fine, maybe a little quiet, maybe a little intense, but fine. And when you try to explain it, people say things like, just relax, or stop overthinking, or it's all in your head. As if you haven't tried. As if you wouldn't give anything to flip a switch and just not feel this way. The cruelty of high neuroticism is that you are fully aware of the irrationality. You know the worry is disproportionate. You know you're probably fine. And it doesn't matter. The feeling doesn't care about your logic. You are watching yourself drown in 3 feet of water. And you can't stand up.
But here's what I need you to hear.
That sensitivity, it's not only a burden, it's a gift you haven't fully unwrapped yet. There are tools. Real, evidence-based tools. Cognitive reframing, learning to catch the distorted thought and hold it up to the light. Emotional labeling, the simple act of naming what you feel, which has been shown to reduce amygdala activation by up to 50%. Therapy, meditation, movement. These aren't platitudes, they're interventions that reshape the neural pathways your brain has worn into grooves over years.
And here's the part nobody talks about.
People who score high in neuroticism also score high in empathy, in creativity, in depth of feeling. You don't just feel the darkness more deeply, you feel the beauty more deeply too. There's a Japanese art form called kintsugi. When a piece of pottery breaks, they repair it with gold. The cracks become the most beautiful part. The breakage becomes the history. And the object is more valuable than before it shattered. That's you. You are not broken. You are someone who has been broken and repaired so many times that you are threaded with gold. Every spiral you've survived, every night you've weathered, every morning you got up and pushed that boulder again. That's not weakness. That is extraordinary strength.
So let me ask you something.
What would happen if you stopped fighting yourself? What would it look like to treat that sensitivity not as a defect, but as a depth that most people will never know? What would you do then?